how you feel, like the little wins. It's great to have a big goal. And I'm even saying, like, if there's a number that you want to get down to and you cannot get over that, fine, you can have that as your goal. But then you need to just like put the scale away and not be weighing yourself every day and start to focus on the way the exercise is making you feel.
Welcome back to the Push Pause to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Emily Rodersheimer. On this podcast, we explore health from the inside out, starting with foundations, connection, and the conditions that allow the body to heal. Our guest today is my first repeat guest. Carly Fauth is a fitness instructor, cancer exercise specialist, fitness mentor, and the founder of Fit in Fitness. With more than 15 years of experience, she's passionate about helping people build strength and confidence through movement that fits real life. Not a perfect life, but your real life. As a triple-negative breast cancer survivor, Carly continued teaching fitness throughout chemotherapy and surgery, giving her a unique perspective on the healing power of movement. Today, she helps everyone from busy professionals to cancer patients and survivors discover that even small amounts of movement can make a meaningful difference. Welcome back to the podcast, Carly.
Thank you, Emily. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, I think you and I are more excited than anybody. We have a lot of fun when we talk. Yeah.
I love it.
So everyone can just join in as two friends catch up. Well, Carly, one of the things that really stands out when we talk and we see things so much in such a similar way is that we both see women working incredibly hard to be healthy, but somehow feeling farther away from health than ever. Would you agree, and why do you think that is?
I think I've given this a lot of thought because that's a lot of the people that I work with and a big complaint that I hear. And I think it's that it's hard to get older because your body starts changing. And I think that we get so caught up in how we used to always be able to do things, and change is hard. Change is hard in every aspect of our life. So if you take that thing that change is hard, it's really it's hard in your body too when you have to go about doing things in a different way. I just don't think people like to have to deal with change, and sometimes it's easier to just throw in the towel and be like, I give up, nothing's working, instead of figuring out a way around it. It takes resilience, it takes courage, it takes patience, and a lot of people maybe haven't fully developed those skills yet.
Well, and I think our society doesn't set us up for those skills
Correct.
very well, right?
We like an easy fix.
Everything, all over social media, turn on the TV, and here's this quick, buy this one thing and your life will change. Do this one thing, like buy this gadget, get this Botox, whatever. Like you're going to be so much happier. And that's what they show on the commercials. It's always like the happy couple, and all they had to do was like buy the product, and it's never, so we've been sold kind of that lie of ease.
Yes. And it's quick to come, quick to go. So those things, I'm not bashing any of those things. Like some of them do have a little bit of credibility, but I think that can be exhausting too. In the way our society works, like you said, and the way everything is pushed in front of our faces, it can get so overwhelming, which can lead to just kind of like this pause and this freeze. Yeah,
for sure. Where do I even start?
Well,
one of the things I just so love about your philosophy and the way that you lead your clients is you often say that fitness should fit into your life instead of your life revolving around fitness, and so I would love to hear just a little bit about that. Like what does that mean to you, and what does that look like in real life?
Yeah, so I think we live in a society where everyone is so busy. Everyone is busy. And I think that sometimes, especially for women, our wellness and taking care of ourselves gets put to the bottom of the list because we always put other people before us. So then all of a sudden you have this to-do list that's so long, you're at the bottom of it and you didn't even get a quarter of the things done on the to-do list. You're exhausted. What's the first thing to go? It's your exercise time that you created for yourself, because it's not something necessarily that you will see something bad happen or something negative happen right away from not doing it. But the prolonged skipping and not having a fitness foundation will show up later in life, or show up in disease, or show up in stress. And that is something that can happen over time. So I think it is easier for people to start building in their healthy lifestyle to things that they already do. So for instance, when you're cooking pasta, maybe you have a little sticky note, or it doesn't even have to be pasta. When you're cooking anything, you're boiling water, it could be like 20 squats, or trying to use the time that you have where you're doing these other things and fit in fitness during that time. Does it substitute the workouts that you need to do to progress to get stronger? Absolutely not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about starting to add fitness in as an overall wellness structure to your everyday life, which will make it easier for you to want to do that 30-minute strength workout at the end of your day that maybe you wouldn't have before, but now you've gotten those quick wins to how you feel by fitting in fitness, and you'll be like, oh, I want more of that. I'm going to bump that 30-minute workout up a little higher than it is on the to-do list, a little higher, so I get it done.
There's something so satisfying, even if you just do 10 squats or a couple push-ups. Like when you're done, you're like, oh, yeah, look what I did. And I feel accomplished and I feel stronger. And so that's amazing. I also think we should talk about the all or nothing mindset of, well, if I don't go to the gym and do a full CrossFit for an hour, or, or I love yoga, but if I can't go to, put on my fancy outfit and go to the studio, it doesn't make sense to do it at home, or, these kinds of mentalities.
I hear that all the time, and it's like, okay, great. So you're just not going to do it. Like you have to be honest with yourself about what your barriers are to doing it, and how can we eliminate those barriers and be open-minded to try a new way of doing things. Because if you're saying you can't go to the yoga studio or you can't get to the gym because it takes up too much time, great. It's nice that you're recognizing the reason you're not going, but it's still not getting you to do the thing you need to do to be healthy. And you have to think about like getting older and wanting to be self-sufficient. Like you need to find your why that will make you want to do those things. And if you can't get yourself to the gym, if you literally don't have enough time to do the things that you want to do, and you can't get your yoga clothes on, you have to figure out a different way to do it. There's no, like, you do it or you don't. You can't, that's just an excuse. It's just an excuse.
Yes, it's a mindset that we get stuck in, and so we want to start to rewrite that maybe all or nothing could be like all of 5-10 minutes is enough, right? 15
minutes a day is what I think is such a great baseline for getting started, for coming back after illness, injury. Me during my cancer experience, that was my limit. It was like, let me try 15 minutes, maybe I can go more. But 15 minutes is like, that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm shooting for. Your brain can wrap itself around it. Everyone has 15 minutes. I don't care if you are, I don't care who you are.
Stop scrolling and take your 15 minutes.
Stop scrolling. Yes. And also then get up 15 minutes earlier or go to bed 15 minutes later. It's not going to break you. I don't want to hear the excuses. You have 15 minutes.
They can do it while they listen to our podcast.
100%. You can multitask. You could be entertained while you squat.
There you go. Go. Awesome. I love it. Yes. Start small. It doesn't have to be big. But it can be just grow and build from there. So
yes,
Carly, I really want to know, why do you tell people to throw away their scale?
Oh my goodness. I can't. If you really think about what the scale is measuring, especially as we get older, it's measuring like how gravity is pulling your body down to the ground. It's a measurement of, it doesn't mean anything. Like unless you have a scale, and these aren't always reliable, but at least I can get around and get behind a scale that tells you your fat percentage to muscle ratio. I can get behind that. That makes sense. That's helpful.
Body composition.
Body composition. But I don't understand. I don't understand why when we go to the doctor, it's still the first thing is that they have to weigh you, because it's like, it's making that thought pattern. It's just playing into that thought pattern that is so destructive to women. And I think a lot of women my age, and I'm not sure how old you are.
We're the
48.
same age. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, close. So, I'm older than you.
Okay, but still the same era of wanting to be skinny and dieting and making sure like you're small, like that was the goal. And I think a lot of women have a hard time breaking out of that mindset. And the scale is just leading to that thought destruction of like, it's not telling you anything. So if it's making you crazy and you're not seeing the changes in your body that you want to see on the scale, it's taking away from you focusing on the way your body's changing that you can't measure on the scale, which is way more important. I just wish people would stop going for a number on the scale. Like, get off the scale. It's just going to make you feel worse.
Yeah. And I think that there's, we tie our identity, like our value is
to
tied
a number.
to a number. Yeah. And and then you start to lose the concept or you start to lose the potential that you have. You forget
totally.
that this is just a data point for today. It's not your value. And if the number isn't something you want to see, then you're more likely to throw in the towel. Like, why bother, or
exactly.
It's too hard. I'll never get, so really what should we be focused on instead of the number on the scale?
How you feel, like the little wins. It's great to have a big goal. And I'm even saying, like, if there's a number that you want to get down to and you cannot get over that, fine, you can have that as your goal. But then you need to just like put the scale away and not be weighing yourself every day and start to focus on the way the exercise is making you feel. Are you able to lift your luggage and put it into the overhead compartment in a plane without the guy next to you offering to do it for you? And maybe you can lift his too. Can you run around with your kids and not tire out? I'm trying to think of all the things that my clients tell me that are like little wins, but actually huge wins. Can you change out windows in your house and bring them to the shed and be able to like function later in the day? It's all about what it can help you do. And also when you go to the doctor and you get your blood work done, or that sometimes you get an ultrasound and the doctor comes in the room and says, what have you been doing? Be like, look at this. What greater feeling? That's the stuff that matters. If you want to be healthy and you want to focus on longevity and you want to be here for as long as you can and you want to fight off cancer and disease, that is what you should be focusing on. That is the true, what could be better than that? Maybe you have to face something really like a health scare to truly appreciate your health. But I think when your health is in jeopardy, all of a sudden you realize that that is the most important thing. And the stuff, the six-pack abs and the bulging biceps, it's just icing on the cake. It really doesn't tell you anything. It's genetics. Like, I have muscular arms, but like, I should just thank my dad for that, because I do work hard, but that's genetics. Like, my body just creates muscle and you can see it. He's a lot. Yeah. But that's not what we should be focusing on. That's not what I'm focusing on. I love the way I feel. Like, you just want to feel healthy in your body.
Well, and I have to say, just listening to you, okay, so everybody, Carly just explained all of that with such passion and such energy. If you want some more energy, if you want to be like Carly and have energy like oozing out of your pores, give exercise a try.
It does. It's like the type of thing, like if I do not exercise in the morning, you will see a different version of Carly. I may be able to fake it, but you will see it in my eyes. You will be able to tell that I'm fraudulent.
Okay.
This is the real deal. Yeah.
Well, I want what you've got, so you've convinced me. All right. So really, it sounds like ultimately we've confused weight, a number on the scale, with health, and the ultimate win to a happy life is health, not a number on a scale.
But can I say one thing about the scale thing? And it just came to me.
Okay.
If you are someone who's not exercising and not doing anything to be healthy, then I would think you should monitor your weight, because if it's going up and up and up and up and up, you should be doing something. I just want to make a distinction that I think once you're doing the thing that you need to do to be healthy in your body, especially if you're a woman in perimenopause and menopause and your body's changing and it takes longer to see that number on the scale go down, that is when you should throw away your scale. If you're doing the things to be healthy, that is when you don't need to be looking at that number.
And just be proud of yourself for doing it.
Correct.
You don't need the scale to be proud of yourself.
Correct.
Awesome. I love that distinction. So one thing I hear from patients all the time is, but I used to be able to X, Y, and Z, And so I wonder, you and I kind of have been talking about this. Why is it so hard for us as women to accept that our bodies change over time?
I think it goes back to that whole thing. We don't like change. It just makes us feel uncomfortable. It makes us feel out of control. It makes us feel like a failure if we can't do the things we did before. But I think women need to understand that your body, it's not about failure. It's not about you falling out of shape. It's about your body working completely different than it did before. And that can be so frustrating. But the only way not to be frustrated about it is to figure out a way for you to do the things you like to do in a different way that makes your body feel good. But you have to be open-minded and willing to explore to find those things.
Yes. And maybe shift your expectations a little bit.
Yes.
Kind of what we just were saying, away from an image to how do you feel, right?
Yeah, and there's so many ways to stay in shape and exercise. So many that if you're just caught on, let's say you've been running for your whole life and running marathons, if running is the only thing that makes you feel worthwhile and makes you feel successful and satisfied in your body, even if you're younger, I think it's probably time to figure out some other things to do, because there is so much out there and you're cheating yourself of all this joy that you can feel by getting outside and moving your body and trying. I tried a trampoline class a few weeks ago and it was an absolute blast. I didn't know what I was doing. I was the only English speaking person, it was all Brazilian.
Oh, wow.
And I was lost half the time, but I'm like, this is amazing. I felt so good when I was done because I had a good time. It had nothing to do with my calories I burned or muscles that I built. It was just fun.
And then you're more motivated to do it if you're having
a really
good time. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I think instead of grieving what our body used to do at age 25, we want to work with what our body can do now. And I think the shift between perimenopause and menopause, it's almost like we just really have like a new body. And instead of hating it or being pissed at it because it's not the 25-year-old body, can you get curious about it? And what does this version of our body like? What feels good now? What really lights me up and brings me joy, like you said. So just time to let go of the grief. Have a moment. If you need a moment, everybody can have a moment, right?
Take a moment.
We're not 25 anymore. We're not going to, likely fit into whatever, we used to wear in high school. And that's just okay.
It is okay. It is that, and I think society too, especially on social media. I mean, I like to think we've gotten away from this. We have to be skinny. We have to age and not have any wrinkles, and our arms have to be super skinny. I'd like to think that strong is in, but I think especially through social media and some celebrities out there perpetuates this idea that we have to look a certain way as we age, and have the courage to be like, no, because most of the time the people that are chasing that ideal, you wouldn't want to hang out with them. They're anchors on the fun boat. Who wants to hang out with somebody who's so restrictive about what they eat all the time and have to focus on their specific workouts to stay the way they want to? I don't want to hang out with somebody like that.
Anchors on the fun boat. I have never heard that term, but that is a good one.
Isn't it?
We need some space in our life for fun and for flexibility and for, And if you're really dialed that far into looking a certain way, then
don't be my friend. I won't want to be friends with you. I will not do anything with you.
I think on social media, I just want to circle back to that we have to choose very carefully who we are following, right? That you can easily go down a rabbit hole, and we know the algorithm will feed you what you're looking for. If you start to follow some of those, more image-seeking celebrities, then that's what you're going to start to be fed, and then you're going to feel really poorly about yourself. Because remember, they have a team working on them, right? They likely have professional chefs and trainers who live at their house and, all makeup and hair and all the things. And so don't compare yourself to that. No. Choose some other people to follow. I am just going to give you a shout out right now. I think everyone should follow Carly.
Oh,
What's your handle on Instagram?
Fit Fun Carly.
Perfect handle. And it is so fun to watch her. I have to say, every day there's Carly doing a new exercise in a new spot in her home, while she's cooking or her kids are joining. It's a lot of fun. And the bend over and pick something up off the floor on one leg, I'm still like, I was like,
it's hard.
Wow, it is so hard.
It is hard. It is really hard.
So be careful with who you follow. Like, be really careful.
Yes.
And maybe once you start following someone like Carly, then you'll get other inspirational people coming your way that can really, like, it makes a huge difference, I think, who you're following.
Huge. And I don't want anyone to think that I like have it all figured out and that I never go down the rabbit hole, because I think it's normal as a human being, and especially as a woman of this age. So just as an example, and you know this, I've been doing some modeling, and you meet the nicest people, but you run into other models who look like models, and then you go and check them out on Instagram, and you're like, oh my goodness, like I don't look anything like her. And then and those voices start to come back, but it's a practice of being able to like, and this isn't somebody who's trying to show off or anything. It's just a practice of being like, I am so happy for her. That is not me. I am me. And then I just keep going. And it's the more you do that, and you can train your mind to get out of that headspace, the easier it will become, and you won't get so trapped. It's a practice.
That's good. I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for me.
There's plenty of sunshine for everyone.
Yes. I love it. What do you think are some of the internal benefits of movement that people don't appreciate enough? We've kind of talked a little bit about this, but what changes come internally? So forget what we look like on the outside, but that you think people are missing? Mostly
the mental health benefits. I mean, I definitely work out for my physical health, but mostly for my mental health, because if I didn't have that, I think I would be I don't even want to know where I'd be. I think it's a quick, it's almost the same idea as popping a pill for anxiety, because you get the immediate satisfaction. And everyone, I actually was on a podcast the other day, and the podcast host asked me, it was such a good question, like, what do you tell somebody to do who's never exercised before, the first thing to get them on board? And I was like, it's a really good question. And I would have to say, it's like a really, like a 15-minute quick and easy cardio class, because when you're moving your body and the heart rate comes up and maybe you're sweating a little bit, you immediately, your brain fog starts to clear, you feel happier, your anxiety lessens, and then you're done and you're like, wow, like this was pretty powerful. And that gets the immediate buy-in. So I think people are just missing taking the time to actually think about how they're feeling, instead of just doing it with no thought, and again, just looking for the physical benefits. It's like really talking to your doctor about the changes that have happened in your body, in your blood work, like we talked before, having an open discussion like that, knowing how it shows up when you're in your everyday life, or how you interact with people. Maybe you're not as snappy as you were before with people. That's how it shows up, and that's what I think people are just like missing if you're just not thinking about your why, and just it's important to look at it as an action to get it done, but it's also important when the action is done to be able to sit back and see how it's showing up in your everyday life and the people around you. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good reminder for people, because, and I think there's a study, many studies, I can't quote them exactly right now, but exercise has been shown to be as effective as antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicine. It is, without a doubt. Or even to boost how they're working. If you're already on a medication, you can make it even work better with exercise. And I think one of the other things that around middle age, women start to suffer from sleep issues. Yes. And I don't know if you want to say a couple sentences about, your experience with your clients sleeping better and or yourself with exercise.
Yeah. A lot. That's a common problem for people when they say, like, I want to get up in the morning and do it because I think that's when I'm supposed to exercise, but my sleep is so out of whack. And that is something that goes along with perimenopause and menopause. And it's something you really need to get worked out, because exercising when you're sleep deprived you're not getting the benefit of the exercise. It can actually set you back. So you got to get your sleep worked out. But I also think that if maybe this time of your life, working out in the morning, when you need a little more sleep and you need to delay your workout to maybe later in the day. I think that's really important to do, to monitor your sleep, recognize when you're tired, and start to track your energy in the days And maybe it's not what you think when you think you should be working out, or even when you want to work out. But again, it comes into this being open-minded enough to understand and really talk to somebody like you, Emily, and to understand how this all works together, so that you can feel more comfortable with making the changes that you may need to make. But once you do start exercising, that does help your sleep. But it is important to remember that you shouldn't necessarily be doing a hard hit workout before your head hits the pillow.
Right.
You have to figure out, like, I would say maybe that's when you do stretching and yoga, or maybe you do a strength workout later in the afternoon, let your body calm down.
Yes.
Figure that out. It really involves paying attention to your body and how it is working. And that is so hard for some people. And that's why it's so good we have people like you to help us figure that out too, because it's a journey.
It really is. And I think a big piece of it is like slowing down enough to listen to what your body's telling you. Listen. We're so disconnected. I had another guest, and she was talking about how we're walking heads. Like, we just walk around all day in our heads doing our to-do list or whatever. We're on the hamster wheel, and we are really disconnected from the physical, expression of what our body needs. It's always telling us. There are always clues. It will tell you. It'll start whispering, and then it's going to get a little louder, and then it's yelling or hitting you over the head with a 2x4. You've got a diagnosis, and you know so well. So let's start to listen to the whispers.
Yes.
But you have to slow down enough and just this is, again, so I didn't know I was going to go on this tangent, but my podcast is called Push Pause to Heal for a reason. And I'm just asking for a moment of stillness, a couple deep breaths, and tap in and see how your body feels.
So important. Important.
Yeah. So do you ever see women become so focused on optimizing their health that they lose the joy of living?
Oh, yes. I see this a lot again, on social media, when they're like, this supplement and that supplement and this piece of equipment and that piece of equipment, and I need this and I need that. And they are so overwhelmed that they get all this stuff and then they don't use any of it. And then they fall deeper and deeper into depression, and they're like, I don't even know where to start. So yeah, I think there's this sense of being overwhelmed. And sometimes I also think, I'm all for tracking things, like with an Apple Watch, and I understand that is important. But I think people get so obsessed, it's like nails going down a blackboard when somebody in one of my classes is like, oh, if I don't start my watch, it's like this workout didn't happen. Stop.
No.
Can you please stop? It doesn't matter how many calories you burn. Stop looking at your watch for everything. Tune in instead of looking about what the data tells you. That is just it's so sad to me that we are depending on technology to tell us how we are feeling. It's sad. It's really sad.
It is.
I even saw it with my son, who has a Whoop. Nothing against Whoop. And again, he's like a professional athlete. I get it. But he looks at his Whoop score when he comes down. He's like, oh, my sleep quality was so bad. It wrecks his day because he's an anxious mess thinking his training isn't going to be good. I'm like, then take off the Whoop. I can't handle this. Go by how you feel.
Yes. There are times I wear an Aura ring, and I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think I don't dive into it too much, but there are days where if my sleep score is down, I'm kind of like, oh,
it makes you feel sad.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, actually, I feel pretty good. I think it missed something here. I'm going to go with that. So
But again, I think that is important to have those measurements. But if you're becoming so obsessed that you can't do a workout without turning it on, you got to stop.
No. And definitely don't let it tell you how you should feel.
Correct.
I think that we both see clients that they're striving for health and wellness so much that it's now a full-time job, and it's actually depleting, all the energy and the joy. And, so if you're working really hard, I see you, because it's like what we think we're supposed to do, and so much of our life is okay, if I work hard, I get a payoff, right? We get through school, we get the good grades, we get we get into whatever college, all the stuff. like working hard really pays us back in a lot of ways. So now we think if I just apply this, white knuckle willpower, work real hard to my health, that'll have a payoff as well. And truthfully, I think that, your body is it's not a machine. And it's not like put this input in and get this input out. It's like, well, there's a whole lot of like beauty and wisdom within there that it doesn't always need to work. It often much more needs to rest. And I would love to know if you can, I've had other clients. So one of the conversations I have sometimes people are over exercising.
Oh, yes.
Or overdoing it.
Yes.
And the conversation needs to be, okay, actually, and this is a really tough one for people to swallow. I'm like, can you have a rest day? And, it feels uncomfortable because of that. We've learned to push and push and push. And I see some of my clients that have instituted a rest day or turned their workouts down by 10%. And I'm speaking to the over exercisers now, right? Not the ones that need to get started. We see gains. This is the body can build and repair.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't, if you're trying to exercise and your body is depleted and you're exhausted, and this happens in perimenopause and menopause, like we get more tired. And if you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, you're not going to do yourself any favors. And that, I think, if you can reframe it in your mind, is one of the nice things about getting older. I'm enjoying that because I'm like, you know what? I've earned the right that if I'm tired today, I'm going to just like go for a walk. Or if my body is sore, I'm going to go get a massage. And that is what I should be doing. And what could be better than that? What a treat.
That's
like
awesome.
I was fighting against that for so long, thinking that, because I definitely had times in my life where I was over exercising and overtraining. But now that I've kind of come to accept it and working within my limitations, which change daily, I just find that it's easier for me to continue my consistency, and consistency is the most important thing. And consistency does not mean pushing all the time. It means coming up with a consistent plan that you don't fall off track. It's not all or nothing. You're not taking 2 weeks off. You're taking a day off or changing your workouts a little bit.
Yes. How did you know that my next question literally was about consistency? Like, I'm not joking.
Because that's like the ticket. That is the ticket. Everyone
really
asks why, like, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm in perimenopause. I don't know what's going to happen to my body. I don't know. I'm just living it day by day. But people are asking me, like, how come it doesn't seem to be affecting you? Number one, it is affecting me. But number two, because I have been consistent my entire life, and it's taken years to build that consistency. So yes, consistency is key. But to see the results you want to see, you have to stay consistent for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. And you can't get consistent unless you stay consistent. You got to stay with your program. This has to be part of your life.
Yes. And that is the beauty of the 15-minute workout, is much easier to be consistent on a regular basis than if it's got to be an hour and you have to drive, 100%. Go far away and all of that. So the consistency piece, and it's just like, so much of my work and what we do in the programs that I run in my practice that just create remarkable change. It's the tiniest little habits that we change. Like, you tweak something that you do every day by like this tiny little bit, and suddenly you feel so much better. Because it's a regularly occurring thing. So this consistency, it really does add up. It's like compounded interest over time. And and before you know it, I love to talk about neuroplasticity. The brain will start to rewire, and what used to be like every morning, oh, am I going to do my workout? Am I going to skip today? It was a really hard decision. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And every day you tried really hard to do it. Before you know it, you just wake up and do it. You don't even have to think anymore.
Training your brain.
Yes. Just like we know how to brush our teeth without thinking about it.
Exactly.
You drive your car and you get to your destination. You're like, how did I even get here? I wasn't paying any attention.
Exactly.
It just becomes automatic, and that's the goal. That's the beauty. The goal. Then it's not hard anymore. So if you're in that position of like, oh, it's so hard to get myself to go and do the exercise, stick with it. It's going to get easier. We promise.
It will. I promise you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So if you, I think we're about at the end of our conversation, and you're going to come back. So it's just, I'm just going to tell
I
you
would
that
love
right
to
now.
come back. Anytime.
I have so many ideas about what we could talk about next time, but I would love to know if every woman listening today could stop chasing just one thing in the wellness world, what would you tell her to let go of?
Oh, Emily, there's so many. But just one. Let me just think. The first one that pops into it would have to be the scale.
Okay.
I feel
okay.
so
I was wondering
passionate
if
about
would be
that
the
scale.
thing. Yeah.
Please, you don't have to make a big scene at. Maybe you don't want to throw it away. I guess that's just extreme, what I think. But hide it. Put it somewhere put it somewhere where it's not accessible to you, and you can pull it out if you need it. But don't have it in your bathroom or. It's not. It's outdated. You don't need to be doing that and focusing on that. So yes, that's my top.
Okay. All right. That works. And what would you encourage her to start doing, or to start trusting instead?
15 minutes a day. Have that be your goal. And
All
it doesn't have to be cardio. It could be stretching. It could be focusing on it could be meditating. Give yourself 15 minutes a day, a break to focus on you and some sort of movement.
Love that. We talked about how we get disconnected and we live in our brain all day long. What a great way to reconnect by doing some sort of movement. You're just going to tune in and you're going to feel into your body a lot more than we do the rest of the time. So
100%.
I love that. So tell us where our listeners can learn more about you and your work and your beautiful workouts that you have and all the things.
So Fit Fun Carly is pretty much everything. So Instagram, Fit Fun Carly. I'm on TikTok. I don't even know what my TikTok handle is. It's something fit. I just don't love TikTok, but I am on there.
Yeah.
But I'd say go to Instagram. Fitfuncarly.com is my website. And you can email me at carly@fitfuncarly.com. I love to hear from people, so don't be shy.
Okay. And if somebody's really kind of interested in getting started, you have some group programs, right?
I have one-on-one. I work with clients one-on-one. I have a 12-week program. I also have a Fit Fun community, which is based on I Get Fit in 15 minutes a day, live classes, and a full on-demand library and community support. I also have lately, which has been really fun for me, am very open to creating programs for people with specific needs. If maybe the 12 weeks isn't something they need, they're looking for 6 weeks or something like that, please reach out to me because I love making programs and plans specifically for people's needs. That's why I got into this. Awesome. I love the personal connection.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. So if today's podcast resonated with you, please help us share the power of reconnecting with your body and putting in those 15 minutes every day. We would love to have you share this episode with someone who you know that would really enjoy it and help Carly and I just spread the message. Healing, health is more important than a number on a scale or the way you look in the mirror. It's how you feel on the inside that really counts. Thank you so much, Carly.
Thank you, Emily.